Hello, so we're gonna go over your adding and subtracting integers notes today. So make sure you have that open before you begin. Go ahead and pause if you're not ready and get that open and then we can start. I'm gonna go over these notes today. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the adding integers note page and we're gonna just talk about what that means and what we have to do to add integers. All right, so I'm gonna demonstrate to you how to do that. I'm gonna use my annotation mode in my Zoom, and I'm going to just draw on these pages here to help you see what we're supposed to do. So first thing is we're going to start over here on the left with how we add integers that are the same sign, and then we're going to go on to the different signs on the right. Remember that an integer is any positive or negative whole number. That includes 0, but it does not include any decimals or fractions, but any positive or negative whole number, okay? All right, so it's asking us on this side, after this example, we can do something like 8 plus 5 or add -7 plus -5, right? And we're gonna do that because they have the same sign. So we're gonna demonstrate how to do that using 2 and 3. So what is 2 plus 3 on a number line? So first you have to find the first number. So the first number is 2. So if this is 0, I have to count 1, 2 to the right of 0, so find 2. So this is 2, and now we're gonna add 3. So when we add 3, that means we need to go 3 more places to the right. So that's 1, 2, 3. So this is the number that I need here. So what number is 3 places to the right of 2? Well, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. That's how that works. This is how you can use a number line to add, right? And of course, that seems really simple and really easy, but when we're thinking about our negative numbers, we still need to understand how that works. It's going to work in the exact same way, okay? So we're going to start here on the negative side, right? You have -3. So we have to find -3 first. We're at 0, so we have to go 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. So right here is where -3 is. All right, and then we have -4. So we're going to add -4. So we're going to add that by going to the left 4 more times. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the number that I need right here. What's this number? Well, it is 4 places after -3. So it's -4, -5, -6. It is -7. So that's how I've shown that -3 plus -4 is equal to -7. All right. The challenge is going to come when we have different signs because it's a little bit more complicated, but we're still going to do it, okay? So let's try it over here on the right when we have different signs. So again, we have to start with our first number. So we're starting at -2. So we go 2 to the left of the 0. So right here is our -2. Then we have to add 6, okay? Since we are adding 6, we know that we are going to the right, all right? Because we're not adding a negative number, so we don't have to go to the left. We're actually adding a positive number, so we're going to the right. We have to add 6. So to add 6, we have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whatever this number is, that's our answer. So -2, and we went over 6 times to the right. So what is 4 places to the right of 0? That answer is the number 4. So that's how that works. I went from -2 and I counted 6 places to the right. I got a +4. So here's what we're doing. What we're doing when we're using our number line, we're starting from the first number, right? And then we are going to add the next number. And if it's positive, right, we just add to the right. But if it's negative, we have to add to the left. Okay, so that's the difference between what I did for the top 2 versus what I did for this one here on the left. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing over here on the right. We're going to start with 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We start at the number 5. And now we're adding, but we're adding a negative. So I have to go 8 places to the left. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is my answer. What is that number? Well, it is 3 places to the left of 0, so it is -3. That's my answer. All right, so we're going to try this same idea again, but this time we're going to use chips. So we don't actually have physical chips because we're at a distance. I'm still going to make it work though. I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to bring the chips up so that we can see them. All right, and we're going to try to add with chips. So first thing is that we have to show that 2 chips, and we're going to use, actually, we're going to use blue to represent positive, and we'll use red to represent negative. All right, so these are my integer chips. I have 2 blues and 4 blues together. That's going to give me a total of 6 blues, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's how that works. All right, let's try with negative chips. I'm going to use red chips. So I have 3 negative chips and 1 negative chip. When I add them all together, how many negative chips do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 negative chips. All right, okay. It's going to get complicated. On the right here, we have different signs. Okay, so we know that we have 5 positive chips, and we have 4 negative chips. We learned already that, that if something is positive, its opposite is negative, right? So we can go ahead and cancel out. So for every positive I have, if I have a negative, I'm going to cancel it out. This positive is going to cancel out with that negative, that positive with that negative, that positive with that negative, that positive with that negative. So what do I have left? I only have 1 positive chip left. So that's how that worked out. Okay, let's try it again. This time we have 6 negative chips. And we only have 2 positive chips. So now again, we're going to cross out any chips that we can match up or pair up with its opposite. So this blue and this red are going to cancel. This blue and this red are going to cancel. So now I have how many reds left? 4, right? We can tell that this math here is incorrect, right? And we included this example for a reason. I want to make sure you guys are paying attention. -6 plus 2 should definitely be -4. Okay, so there's 4 negatives left, all right? So again, that error was there on purpose, but you should see that we have 4 negatives left. We can do the math, you can count it up and see that that's how it works, okay? So what is the rule when we're adding integers that have the same sign? So when they have the same sign, you're going to just add the numbers together. When they have the same sign, it doesn't matter what it is, positive or negative, you're just going to add the numbers together, and then you're going to keep the sign. So here, all I did was -3, right? And -1. It doesn't matter that they're negative. Just add the numbers together. It was 3 plus 1. It is 4. What's the sign in front of them? They're both negative. So the answer is -4. Same thing with here. 2 plus 4 is just 6, right? Okay. If they have different signs, okay, so the rule is to subtract the smaller number from the bigger number and keep the sign of the bigger number. Okay, so in this case, we have -6 plus 2. Okay, 6 is bigger than 2, so we're going to subtract 2 from 6. So we're going to do 6 minus 2. That's going to give me 4. But the sign in front of my bigger number, which is 6, is negative, so my answer needs to be -4. All right, same thing is going to work up here. We have 5 plus -4. Okay, so again, 5 is bigger than 4, so we're just going to do 5 minus 4, which is going to give me 1. My 5 is my bigger number and it's positive, so my answer is just +1. All right, let's do some examples. All right, so 4 plus 3, so they both have the same sign, so we just add it straight across. What's 4 plus 3? It's 7. All right, again, now we have -4 plus -3. They're both negatives, right? So again, we just add the numbers up, 4 and 3, but we keep the sign, and the sign is negative, so it's -7. 100 plus 200 is 300. They have the same sign, which is negative, so we keep our negative sign. And then 25 plus 40, 5 plus 0 is 5, 2 plus 4 is 6, we have 65. All right, the same sign is really, same sign is actually really straightforward. We do have to keep our heads together when we're thinking about the different signs though. Remember that we are subtracting the smaller number from the bigger number and then keeping the sign of the bigger number. So here we have 8 and 5, so we're going to do 8 minus 5, and we're going to get 3. Which number is bigger? The 8 is bigger. What is the sign of the 8? The sign of the 8 is negative. So my answer must be -3. Okay, again, down here it's going to be the same thing. It's going to again be 8 minus 5, which is 3. But the sign of the bigger number this time is positive, so we just keep it as 3. All right, 6 plus -4, we're going to do just 6 minus 4, which gives me 2. What is the sign of the bigger number? The bigger number is 6, and the sign of that is positive, so my answer is just 2. And down here it's going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be 6 minus 4 again, which is going to be 2. But this time my 6 is negative, so my answer is -2. Okay, and guys, I even included a sign here, a song here, in case you need to figure out how to keep track of it. So if you sing "Row, row, row your boat," and if you have kids around you right now and you start singing this, they will probably sing it forever. So just be careful. Same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Take the sign of the larger number, then you'll be exact. Okay, so one way to keep it in your mind if you can't remember it. All right, we're going to do a little bit more practice here. Okay. All right, let's go in order. Okay, so these have different signs. So we're going to subtract the numbers. All right, so we're going to do 5 minus 3, which gives me 2. What is the sign of my bigger number? It's negative, so I'm going to keep that. So my answer is -2. All right, these have the same signs. We're just going to add the numbers together. So it's 2 and 3, which is 5. But the signs on both of their numbers is negative, so I need to keep that negative. All right, and this one is straightforward. It's just 7 plus 1. That is 8. Okay, the signs on both of these are the same, so I'm just going to add it. 4 plus 2 is 6. But the signs are negative on both of them, so it is -6. All right, same thing here. The signs are the same. 8 plus 1 is 9. The signs are both negative, so it's negative 9. All right, so again here I have to do 5 minus 3, which gives me 2. And the sign on my bigger number is negative, so my answer is negative 2. All right, the signs here are different, so I have to do 20 minus 10, which gives me 10. And the sign of my bigger number is positive, so I leave my answer as just positive 10. All right, the signs here are different, so I have to do 15 minus 5, which gives me 10. And the 15 is the bigger number and it's negative, so it's actually negative 10 is my answer. The signs on both of these are the same, so I just add the numbers up, 4 plus 5, which is 9. But they are both negative, so the answer is negative 9. All right, this is negative 3 plus nothing. So my answer is just negative 3. All right, and the signs on these are different, so it's 5 minus 5, which is going to give me 0. And it doesn't matter what the sign is on either of them because 0 is neither positive nor negative. Okay, the signs on these are different, so I'm going to do 8 minus 5, which is going to give me 3. All right, and my bigger number is 8, so my answer is just going to be 3. Okay, the signs on these two are different, so this is 9 minus 2, which gives me 7. And my bigger number is a positive 9, so again, my answer just stays as 7. And again, here we have different signs, so we do 5 minus 5, which is 0. And my answer just stays 0. All right, these two have the same signs. I'm going to add the numbers together. 6 and 6 gives me 12, but they're both negative, so I have to keep the negative, so it's negative 12. All right, these have different signs, so it's 6 minus 1, which gives me 5. The bigger number is 6 and it's negative, so my answer needs to be negative 5. All right, these two have the same sign, so it's just 3 plus 2, which is 5. But they're both negative, so it's negative 5. All right, these have different signs, so I have to subtract them. So 2 minus 2, which gives me 0. Ooh, this one has multiple numbers. So what we're going to do is, because we do have the 5 and the 3, which are the same sign, let's just add those up to give ourselves 8. All right, so now we have 8 plus negative 2. So those are different signs. So we do 8 minus 2, which is 6. And the 8 is bigger, so our answer is just 6. All right, remember, you can always pause. You don't have to follow along with me. I know I went very quickly. Make sure you review it and understand why each answer is the way that it is. Okay, so we've done all the adding. Let's subtract. All right, so the rule for subtraction is to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign and also change the very next number sign to the opposite sign, then following the adding integers rules. So it makes it easier if we just follow the add integers rules by just changing the signs, all right? So this is what we call adding the opposite, all right? So what is 4 minus 3? Well, we know, or you should know, when you're able to do that math, that 4 minus 3 is just 1, right? Now let's do it using the adding the opposite rule. So instead of 4 minus 3, right, we're going to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign, right? So it becomes 4 plus 3. But remember, we also need to change the very next numbers sign. So that means the 3, instead of being positive, now has to become a negative 3. So it's going to be 4 plus negative 3. And remember what that rule is that when we're adding integers that are different signs, we just subtract them, right? 4 minus 3, which is 1. So that's how it works out anyway. Okay, so this is just a way to think about it to make it easier for you as you think about the rule of subtracting integers. I think when people subtract integers, they get all discombobulated and all confused. So I think the easiest thing to do is not even worry about the subtraction sign, just change it to an addition and then use your addition rules, because the addition rules are very straightforward. So instead of -7 minus 5, you have -7 plus -5, which gives you -12. Instead of 4 minus 9, you have 4 plus -9, which gives you -5. Instead of -3 minus -6, you have -3 plus 6, which is 3. Instead of 8 minus 4, you have 8 minus -4 should be 8 plus 4. This should also be another plus here, right? Because you have to change this sign, which becomes positive. You have to also change the next sign, which also becomes positive, right? So it should be plus plus. So 8 plus 4, which would actually give you 12. Okay. All right. Let's do some practice problems. Okay. Okay, so -4 minus 6. If we follow our rule, -4 minus 6 becomes -4 plus -6. Using our addition rules, we have the same sign, so just add them together. 4 plus 6 is 10, but they're both negative, so it's -10. Okay, 6 minus 9 becomes 6 plus -9. They have different signs. So according to my rule, I have to do 9 minus 6, which is 3. And then I keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 9, and 9 is negative. So my answer is -3. All right, 5 minus -4 becomes 5 plus 4. Okay. So 5 plus 4 is just 9. Okay, and we have -2 plus 3. So again, they have different signs. So I have to use my addition rule. It's 3 minus 2 gives me 1. The bigger number is 3 and it's positive. So my answer is just 1. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's do this last set of practice and then we are done. Okay. Okay. So they have the same sign. So we're going to add and keep the sign. All right, so 5 and 4 is 9. So it's -9. They have different signs, so we're going to subtract, but keep the big number sign. All right, so 8 minus 3 is 5, so it's -5. Okay, they have different signs, so you have to subtract and keep the big number sign. Okay, so we're going to do 5 minus 1, which is 4. So the answer is -4. Which didn't work. Because it is -1 plus 5. It's actually what that is. The answer is 4. So we're not going to use this different signs rule here at all. Actually, we are going to instead just do -1 plus 5. So we have 5 minus 1, which is 4. And we keep the 5 because it's the bigger number, so the answer is 4. Yeah, here. Okay. So 6 plus 2 is 8 here. Same signs, add, keep the sign, okay? -3 minus 0, again, we don't change anything, it's just -3. Here we have -8 minus 2, so we're going to follow the same rule as number 5. So we're just going to add them together. 8 and 2 is 10, so it's -10. This one is the same rule as number 7. So you have -4 plus 6. So we're going to do 6 minus 4, which is 2. So that's our answer, because 6 is going to be the bigger number. All right, -1 minus 1. This is actually going to be the same as if I do -1 plus a -1. So we just add them together. 1 and 1 is 2, and they're both negative, so it's -2. -5 minus 2, again, it's the same as number 5. So it's -5 minus 2, so 5 plus 2 is just 7, so it's -7. All right, this one is straightforward. It's just 7 minus 2, which is 5. Okay, this one again is the same as number 5, so -2 minus 6, 2 and 6 is 8, so it's -8. All right, this again the same as number 5, -5 minus 5, 5 and 5 is 10, it's -10. 17, same as 5 again, -6 minus 3, 6 and 3 is 9, so it's -9. -4 minus -6, in this case it's -4 plus 6, which gives us 6 minus 4, which is just 2. All right, 0 minus -4 is actually going to be 0 plus 4, so the answer is just 4. And then 8 minus -2 is going to be 8 plus 2, which gives you 10. Okay. All right. So that's it. That's how we're going to work through all of those. Again, the subtraction is a little bit harder than the addition, but use the same rules and the same practice. All right. That is it for me.